tell us what's going on with you now.
Well, right now I'm actually working on a new book. The last book I worked on was a book called Breaking the Illusion.
Mm-hmm.
And that's available on Amazon and a lot of outlets and distributors throughout the world. And, I've done powers like esoteric poetry and Masonic teaching, Masonic works, and enlightenment teachings, and just going around trying to make men into better men, ordinary men into better men.
Wow. So tell us one of the things that you've had a challenge with, and when you're going around, the most common thing that you've seen.
The most common thing that I see?
When you're going around, when you're teaching and you're talking to men.
A lot of people, they try to reach out to me for some, because they think that there is more to life that they need to know about. They're interested in if they should take the step of becoming a Mason. And they want to know, like, what is it about Masonry that really sparks me that they should know about, where they should take that step forward and actually get rid of all the conspiracy theories out there that distort their vision and their way of thinking. And if I could clear some of that for them and actually bring them into the fraternity, because the first step of becoming a Mason is to ask a Mason.
Okay. All right. Well, then go ahead and tell us, there are a lot of myths out there about Masonry and what it is. And tell us the truth about, what we need to know before we even consider it.
Oh, the truth. Well, the truth is relative. Anything and anyone says is the truth. Because at the time when they're thinking about it and their actions, they're rationally correct. But what is the truth? Some people can say, if you're at a stoplight and someone ran the light, some people say, well, it was green, and some people say it was red. But none of them are lying, because that's what they think they saw or what they perceived. So the truth is relative. What is the truth? The truth is that we are here as one family on this earth. And we are a brotherhood of men under the fatherhood of the great architect of the universe. And that makes us brothers and sisters. And the truth is we're all related. And the truth is we need to make sure that each man look out for the next. However, we have to also make sure that when we're looking out for someone, we're looking out for the people who we need to look out for first, because some people have this mindset of distorting the I don't want to use the word agenda or anything like that, because it's not an agenda. They want to disturb things that could be looked as optimistic, bring in their pessimistic thoughts, their negative energies and things like that to disturb this movement, right? So therefore, we have to make sure that we know how to walk amongst men. We know how to communicate amongst men. We know how to make sure that our cable tow, it's a term used in Masonry, can reach out to the next man in times of need. So we look out for each other families, and we make sure that everyone is okay. And we not only financially or socially or economically, but also people who are in ill-fated situations. We look out for them, and we make sure that we can actually be there for them at any given time, anywhere, any place, anyhow.
And I agree that we're all one family. We are all related. And looking out for each other is something that we need to do. And, of course, we take care of our own first, and then we reach out to others. And if they are agreeing and they want to be reached out to, then, so be it. But you're right. There are those people that are negative that we don't need to be interacting with. So when you go out and you talk to men, do you find that a lot of the time it's a woman behind the man that is actually hindering them or telling them, not to, or in contrast, not to go with it, And
you said a woman, right?
Right.
There's a saying that behind every successful man there's a strong woman, right? Again, that can be somewhat of the truth, and that could be somewhat of not the truth, because of the fact that each individual are their own individual. Each individual is their own individual. You were born by yourself. So therefore, each person has a mind of their own, right? You have to think for yourself. The thing about it is, what people have to realize is that when a man and a woman gets together, they have to first make sure that they know each other. And not only knowing each other carnally or physically, they have to know each other mentally. So they can sync, so they can be on the same vibration. They can be on the same frequencies. They can understand each other. Because where there's negative, love cannot survive. Positiveness cannot survive. Because you can't add a negative and a positive and come out with a positive. So therefore, a woman there may be women hindering men to do what they have to do. And then you may find that there's women who are there supporting their men. Now, in Masonry, we have a thing they call the Eastern Star. That's for women. These women recognize the importance of Masonry, and they recognize the importance of the work in Masonry. So they take it upon themselves to become somewhat of Masons themselves by becoming an Eastern Star. And so they support the Masons. Now, I can't say that a lot of women who go in the Eastern Star has the right attitude because I can only speak for myself. So therefore, there are women out there who hinder men, and there are men out there who actually go out on their own and say, you know what, whatever she thinks is what she thinks, I'm going to do it anyway, because at the end of the day, you're going to die on your own, and you're going to have to suffer on your own, and you're going to have to, you were born by yourself, so you have to walk by yourself.
Yes, it does. And you're right. I mean, a man is a man by himself. However, there are unities, and in the unity, there's where either it's harmonious or it's not. And, we all find that some women are, like you said, go forward, and some women don't. And, that's a big part of a man as well. I mean, even though we do, we are on this adventure alone, but we're not. You know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah. So, I mean, he influenced the man per se. So, exactly, what are you doing now, and where can we find you on the internet?
What am I doing now is I go around to different lodges and I do esoteric teachings. Esoteric means hidden. Hidden. These are things you bring out into the light, right? You can, if you just Google Peter Gracey, you'll find me. That's it. I have a lot of travels that I take part in and go on to different lodges and teach different things. I'm constantly in writing. I'm also I teach kids, not saying that I'm trying to bring them into a demolay situation where they're becoming Masons, because all men were born as Masons. They just don't know it. Masons is something inner. So I go around, I do teaching, putting together an academy for critical thinking. I'm involved in a lot of nonprofit organizations, People Profile Awards in Fort Lauderdale. I'm the technical director for that. And so it's a lot of charities and a lot of involvement in the communities.
I like that, because we need to give back, and I was talking about that earlier, how we need to give back to the people, and help people. And definitely you're doing that. Thank you so much for being on the show. It was unexpected, but I love it. Thank you. The one thing that I always ask of a guest, what would be your advice for someone, that comes to you and they ask you a very general question? What would be the one thing that you think would stand out amongst all the questions to give that answer?
There's a few questions, a couple questions that stand out. People always ask me, based on Masonry, people ask me, well, is Masonry a secret society? Well, we're not. We're not a secret. We're a society who have secrets, but we're not a secret society. We wear rings. People can see that we're Masons. We have emblems in our cars. We have lodges. You can look us up in the yellow pages. We're not, and we're not a part of the so-called Illuminati, right? So, that's a question I get all the time.
Well, you got to answer that.
Right. So the Illuminati is a total different organization. Now, the Illuminati back in the days, in the 18th century, they were influenced by Masonry in a sense, where they saw that Masonry was a society where somewhat we had a secretive nature. So because of the work they were doing, and they were against the Catholic Church, they wanted to be a part of Masonry. So they influenced their way into Masonry, and so they say Mason is the Illuminati, which it's not. It's really not. So that debunks that right there. We're not the Illuminati.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, there are people who are Masons, who are presidents, and this and that, and there's a lot of power in Masonry, but we're not the Illuminati, So
right.
That's a question I get mostly,
Okay. Yeah. Well, that's good. That's good to put that there because we want to make sure that people know the truth, and that they understand that, truth and lies can coincide very well together. Well, thank you so much again for being on the show. Tell everybody one more time your name and where they can Google your name and they can find you. Am I correct?
Yeah, they can Google me. My name is Peter Gracey, and the last name is spelled Gracey. Peter, I'm a 32nd degree Mason. I'm a member of the Scottish Rites. My lodge is in West Palm Beach. That's where I reside off my home lodge. And I travel a lot in Florida, so if they do Peter Gracey, they'll see a lot of stuff comes up. There's a lot of things on the internet about me that's not so good because of the conspiracy theories. I used to tell people that, we're all gods and things like that, and they take it with a different twist. So when you go out there and you search and you see these things, don't take it for face value. Question it. Question everything. Mm-hmm. That's what I teach kids. You question everything and you read everything. Don't take it for face value. So that's what I would leave you with.
Thank you so much, Peter. I appreciate your time on the show today, and thank you so much for just bringing that, the light to such a, how would I say, miscommunicated society, and also, belief. Thank you.
Right, and you're welcome. If you know what, you're such a nice person. But one of my colleagues, I think, reached out to you. If you should ever need any questions answered or anything like that in the future, just reach back out, and I'll be happy to answer any questions for you.
Awesome. Thank you so much. I mean, you know what? I don't get too many questions about it, but I'm sure I will now. And I can definitely, we'll definitely make sure that people know where to get to the site, get to you, and get the answer. And if not, then I'll definitely reach out to you. And my email address is dreamchasersradio@gmail.com. It's the simplest thing ever. And if ever you need anything, just give me a ring. We'll have you back on the show.
No problem. And I appreciate your time, and so mote it be.
No problem. Thank you. I'm glad. Yeah. Yay.
You're welcome. Have a good night.
All right, good night.
Bye-bye.
You see, guys, they're not a part of the Illuminati. Get over it, all right? Wow. I've had a wonderful time tonight, and I hope you did too. We're going to go ahead and call it an evening, and I got to go cook dinner. Yes, I got to go cook dinner because I'm getting hungry, and, I got to eat just like everybody else. And we all have dreams that we have to pursue, and I hope that you're pursuing yours as much as I am pursuing mine. Thank you so much for being an avid listener of Dream Chasers Radio. I appreciate you.